Is this the last Kira? Hello everyone, and welcome to another episode of Zareth Prevails. Set 20 is upon us, and we have about a week to prepare. I'll be putting out a Conquest video here pretty soon as well, so get ready for that. And otherwise, hold on to your butts. Let's, first let's give a huge shout out to my patrons. You guys are amazing. Thank you guys so much for your support. I couldn't do this without you. I say that every time, and it's true every time. You guys are amazing. Thank you guys so much. And if you want to support this channel for free, folks, all you gotta do is hit that thumbs up button, like, subscribe, comment. Let's mount that algorithm. The algorithm is already using set 20, guys. It's a done deal. So if you want to get the infographic, infographic, I sound like a robot or something. You can find it for free on the Discord server. It's in the video description, linked. You can go be the hero that your guild needs. It's in a channel called Infographics. It's right there, folks. You don't have to screenshot this and have bad photo quality. You can go to the Discord server and get it for free. It really is for real, for free. So let's jump into the actual discussion of set 20, shall we? This is a crazy set, folks. I think there's going to be a lot of weird combos because there's a lot, like the level 3 is fine on the Datacrons. They're good. They're not amazing, but they're all good. They're nothing that we haven't seen before, but they're good. Level 6 and 9 are really good, and in combination with each other, I think it's going to take a while to wrap our minds around exactly all the combinations and all the things that we can do with this set. But it also hits a lot of different teams and characters, as you'll see. It's kind of weird. It's like, why is a Jedi team wearing a Mercenary cron? There's just a lot of teams that are impacted because mercenaries are everywhere, folks. In Galaxy of Heroes and in real life, so whether people admit it or not. So what about the stats? We always talk about the stats in these, and honestly, the stats aren't bad. There's 7 of them, so there's kind of a trend lately. The CG has been adding a lot of stats. It was traditionally when Datacrons were first here, there were 6 total stats that we had. For a while they went up to 8, I believe, total stats that you could roll, and now we're at 7. I feel like they've done 7 a few times, so maybe that's like the nice middle ground, but it does make it difficult to get any one stat 6 different times on a Datacron. That's just how it works, and it's not probably going to change, honestly. But these are all nice utility ones. There's the 2 survivability ones with health and protection. It gives you a nice boost for those stats, and some of those stats translate into other things like offense and stuff. But otherwise, there's no percent defense, so it's not gonna just break you by having it. The armor penetration, it's armor penetration, it's not defense penetration. So armor penetration, it refers to only characters who do damage with physical damage. So physical damage, that means that characters like Fennec can't actually do extra damage using armor penetration. That would be resistance penetration. So there's 3 different types of damage ones, and then there's crit chance, which is the only kind of bad one. But this is a nice set to be able to mostly ignore the stats, honestly. I mean, armor pen is very nice if you can get a lot of it. The percentages are ludicrously high as usual. You don't need it though. It doesn't seem like, because there's no defense percentage on the defensive side. So as far as mechanics go, strong level 6 to go strong level 9s are crazy. So I mean, typically, generally speaking, and there's obviously exceptions and stuff, generally speaking, the more words a Datacron has, the better it is. That's just what it is. If one of the mechanics has a ton of words, it usually means that they're just trying to fit a ton of goodies into one thing. And of course, these are going to be weighted most likely on the level 6s, so they're tougher to roll, so be prepared for that. But it's going to take a while to process the full implication of all of these. But what really interesting on some of them, it's Kira, for instance, is a smuggler. She's also a mercenary, but the Datacrons that she can get to get her level 9 are smuggler. However, once you get her to level 9, her level 9s talk about mercenaries. So it does actually have both groups in there, but you have to roll the smuggler first. And there's not a ton of other smugglers that are going to go on that team, maybe like Hondo or something like that. But it's just an interesting, like there's just a lot of weird interchanges there. And honestly, adding a really long level 6 to a really long level 9 and being able to mix and match those to some degree it's going to be fairly confusing for a while. I think we're going to mix up a lot of things, and there's going to be some really good combos. So for smugglers, this is the one that's going to be the most confusing because they have the biggest overlap with mercenaries. So there's Kira, Sana, and Dash who are on the list as that they could be mercenaries, but they're, in this case, for Datacron purposes, and this is going to be the #1 asked question, I guarantee it, because people don't pay attention to this and they don't watch this video. Those guys are all smugglers. You have to get the level 6 smuggler to get their level 9. That's how it is. That's how I looked it up. That's what it is. I spent extra resources that I shouldn't on my main account to be able to make sure that that's the case, and so it's verified, it's done, and that's what we get. So Kira, Sana, and Dash could be mercenaries, but they're not. They don't have mercenary level 9s. They have smuggler level 9s and or level 6s as well. So anyways, that all being said, smugglers are really interesting. Honestly, it's looking like Sana is probably going to go with Balin, which is not reflected here. Sana could also go with Rolo, I think. Well, we'll just have to see it. It's all very confusing. Sana has this really weird interaction though with, so smugglers get, they give all the different smuggler allies 100% evasion, but Sana debuffs her allies and therefore takes away their evasion, at least at first glance. That's what it looks like. But it looks like she also does really well with mercenaries for other reasons that we don't really need to dig into right now. So it looks like Sana's probably gonna go with mercenaries, that like with Balin, perhaps. I've seen some really crazy initial videos of that squad just destroying different teams that they really, it seems like they shouldn't be destroying. So pretty interesting. Nest looks really nice. She looks really, the Datacron looks really good too. And she's going to be probably on Rey because Rey can protect her for long enough so that she can just ramp independently. I don't think I've ever seen a Datacron where a character just automatically ramps 5% offense every time your opponent takes a turn. It's just crazy. It's going to be really good, but she needs to survive for long enough to do that. She has some other things in her crons that make her survivable, but she needs more of that. So Rey, I think, is gonna have Nest with her. I'm not really totally sure, but it looks like it. And yeah, this set looks pretty good, guys. The smugglers, there's a lot of smugglers out there, and honestly, it's one of the most universally embraced factions. All of them are it's kind of outdone by mercenaries, though, folks. Mercenaries have a lot as well. So obviously, we have the obvious mercenary team with Balin. Here's the screenshot with Sana on it, of course, which is awkward because we're not going to be using, if we use that team, we're not going to be using the mercenary level 6. We're going to be using the smuggler level 6, potentially. We'll see how that all goes. And then with mercenaries, we also have Jedi Knight Cal Kestis, who is also a Jedi. Somehow Jedis can be mercenaries, guys. Who knew? But he is going to get his chop your face off ability a little bit faster with this, and he's going to ramp his damage, which his damage is not that great anyways, so ramping it is not that impressive, but it's going to be pretty interesting when, I mean, Jedi Master Luke wants protection anyways. This is one of those times that you do want a specific stat on your secondaries, or whatever you call them. So you want those stats for, you want protection for this squad, and you want Jedi Cal, and so you're using a Mercenary Cron. It's very strange, but it's also a lot better because he'll do more damage when he attacks out of turn, which he's going to be attacking out of turn because it's Jedi Master Luke and they call everyone to assist. Similarly, because Mercenaries, when they attack out of turn, can also ramp. Kyle Katarn is going to be better because he's going to be on a Mon Mothma team or potentially a Saw team. We'll have to see how that goes. But if he's on a Mon Mothma team, he's going to be attacking out of turn all the friggin' time, and that seems pretty good to me. And then Maul, the only mercenary on that team specifically, well, I think is Jango mercenary? I think he might be, actually, now that I think of it. But specifically, I think it's going to be interesting with Canderous, because again, these guys are all attacking out of turn because Maul is calling everyone to assist all the time, and so it's gonna be pretty interesting, honestly. But they don't look like mercenary teams, right? Other than Balin, like they just don't look like mercenary teams. So it's just gonna get interesting. So for cut Cartel, folks, this one is the only one that's a little straightforward, but even then, it's hard to predict, guys. I think that Hutt, or that Mob Enforcer, looks better than Gamorrean Guard, and the Datacron also looks better than Gamorrean Guard, and that it's tough for Gamorrean Guard to look good. I will just say, but that's the only real question mark. Like the level 6, the wordy one is obviously the best. I think it's obviously the best, and there's only really one team that you can make with Hutt Cartel. And if you don't have Jabba, I don't know if there's a point in making the team. Maybe using Boosh lead if you only have Boosh, like if you've unlocked Leia but you haven't gotten around to Jabba yet or something. Maybe, but honestly, this is a really strong Datacron. Either way, I think Mob Enforcer or Gamorrean Guard are going to be strong for you. I'm interested to see if maybe one is going to be used in like TW and one's going to be used in GAC or something like that. I mean, that's just rampant, wild speculation. We also might end up using Embo and his Cron there instead for TW. Well, time will tell. As I keep saying, droids are one of those teams that are characters, those one of those factions that fits into all the teams, because all the teams want their own, they're not slaves, right? They kind of are, if we're being honest. The droids kind of are, but Afra looks like she has 3 different really fun droid companions, we'll say. BT1 looks decent, like a lot of armor shred looks good, but you already have access to armor shred in that team anyways. BT1, or whatever is not BT1, the 000, is that, like, there's specific things in the HK47 Datacron that take note of and use torture from, and the only torture you're going to get on a team that HK is going to be in is probably 000. So HK47 might be the one that goes with Afra. I'm not sure. Imperial Probe Droid also looks really strong with Afra, honestly, and maybe Imperial Probe Droid will be better than having B2. Who knows? Because B2 might want to go with a General Grievous squad, one way or another. General Grievous, they do have STAP. I'm not sure the STAP level 9 just doesn't look that good. It's like reduce some turn meter. Like, I don't know that that's actually going to move the needle for that team to actually be good. Poor old Grievous, man. Please give us some kind of buff. Please, at some point, give us a taunting tank dark side droid that goes with Afra, so then at least B2 can go with Grievous again, and maybe give us some kind of release another Grievous for us. I don't know. I don't know what you gotta do to make that squad good, but make it better again, guys. Grievous deserves it, man. And then I don't think we're gonna use it right now, folks, but the CLS team also, I think right now we probably just want to use the Rebelcron, right? Like, that seems better. Or there's even a CLS Ufukron that we could use if we wanted to, but if otherwise you wanted to, if you wanted to prepare for the future, for when the current Datacron set is gone, when set 19 goes to dust in 2 months, then get a droid Datacron for CLS, because there's 2 droids on that team. Let's see, and how to choose, folks. Of course, that's always the question, how to prioritize. Of course, the infographic has what I think is the probably the best order to farm these in, but you know, that's one way to do it. Just remember, if you have Jabba, yeah, all you really need is one Hutt Cartel one, and then you can just re-roll the level 6 to the other dark side one, which is droids, if you want to. Otherwise, Nest looks completely ridiculous this season. Maybe I'll be wrong about that, but she does seem really good. And Nest, Jedi Cal, and Mob Force are all buffing Galactic Legends, and like I have been saying a lot lately, Galactic Legends are overpowered by design. Like, they're explicitly overpowered, right? Like, they're supposed to be. That's the whole point of a Galactic Legend. You take a lot of time and effort to unlock them, and they're overpowered. So getting an overpowered Datacron to go alongside your overpowered character is probably going to yield the best results if you're only going to get a few Datacrons. So I think that's about it, folks. Buffing your Galactic Legends is typically going to yield strong results, and there are other really strong combos that are going to yield strong results as well. So I think that's about it, folks. Let me know what your thoughts are. Of course, stay tuned for when we might make some course corrections on this set as we go along and find out that other things are more important. And of course, there are other Datacrons that are going to be important other than the 7 listed here or in the infographic. So go look at the infographic, hang out at the Discord, watch my videos, all of that stuff for more cutting edge Datacron discussion. And I'm done, guys. Thank you all so much for watching, and remember that in all things, Zareth prevails. Take care, folks.